What is up, YouTube? This is T1 coming at you with another video, and today I'm going to talk to you about God of War Ascension, the final game in the series until the new installment, of course. Now, this game had an interesting marketing campaign, in my opinion. It was marketed as a softer, more sympathetic version of Kratos, complete with less violence against women, takedowns that aren't as brutal, and making Kratos himself more heroic as a character. And you know what? The marketing completely fucking lied. Now, I would not have a problem with the game we got if it were the game that was advertised, but it's not. It's the most egregious bait and switch in this franchise's history, and it pissed a lot of people, myself included, off. That being said, God of War Ascension is not a bad game, but much like Ghost of Sparta, it never reaches the heights that God of War 3 did. The whole game feels like it's running on fumes. The story isn't emotionally investing. We have the most boring villains in the history of this series, which is almost an achievement considering the central antagonist is voiced by Jennifer fucking Hale. And the gameplay does nothing new. Even the boss battles aren't very good. They feel completely inconsequential, and even the more epic ones are ultimately quite forgettable. That's Ascension in a nutshell. It's a forgettable, pedestrian, by-the-numbers experience that barely feels worthy of the name God of War. And forget about Chains of Olympus giving you just 2 or 3 weapons. In Ascension, you only have the blades. Are you fucking serious? Okay, look. They try to make up for this by allowing you to infuse different elements into the blade and by adding a bit of a melee system, but no, okay? That is absolutely unacceptable, especially in a PS3 installment. This wasn't even for portable systems. The locations also all feel like scrapped concepts from the previous games. None of them are all that interesting, and the graphics are barely better than God of War 3. You know, it's honestly kind of heartbreaking how phoned in this feels. This was a game I was really hyped for. It came out like a couple weeks before BioShock Infinite, and they just put next to no effort into it, it seems, though there are some good things in it. There's some pretty good voice acting here from Troy Baker. I actually really liked his character Orcos. Thought he was a nice addition to the series, and I wished he stuck around, but sadly that's not going to happen. T.C. Carson, while he has like 8 lines in this game, was still pretty good as Kratos. And while her character isn't very interesting, Jennifer Hale is, as always, bursting with personality. There's also a decent soundtrack here, although like everything in Ascension, it is inferior to God of War 3. And while very underwhelming here, the God of War gameplay is still fun enough to make up for a lot of these flaws. I did enjoy also how you had to use magic more sparingly in this game. And the puzzles, while not impossible, were decently challenging, much more than Ghost of Sparta. All in all, though, God of War Ascension just isn't very good. Now, it's not bad, but there's a ton of flaws here, and it really feels like a farted out game for this series. I'm still going to give it a 7 out of 10 because there is that core God of War gameplay that can make up for a lot. But I'm so glad that none of these people are involved in the future. We get Cory Barlog back for the new game, and I have no doubt in my mind he can bring this series back to what it once was. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, as I said. This is T1 signing out.